Now, I like sprawling open worlds and 100+ hour RPGs as much as the next gamer, but sometimes you just need a break. A nice little palate cleanser to keep you fresh and rejuvenated, ready to jump back into your next epic adventure. And that is exactly what Demetrios, the Big Cynical Adventure, gives you. It's a short and sweet game with plenty of toilet humour and a quick, easy and stackable PlayStation Platinum trophy if that is what you're interested in. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. Hello trophy hunters and welcome back to the channel. Tanya here, and as I said, today we're going to be talking about Demetrios, the Big Cynical Adventure. So this is a game I took a bit of a gamble on last summer. I think I got it cheap in the summer sale and it was something I was originally planning to play on stream, but I never ended up doing it. So I'm now in the process of trying to clear up as much of my PlayStation 4 backlog as I can, and this has been sitting downloaded for the longest time. And I have finally decided to take the plunge. So Demetrios is a little point and click adventure game that stars Bjorn. Bjorn is an antiques dealer who is living in Paris and runs his own antique store. And he has recently purchased a large bird statue, which has given him a lot more trouble than he was expecting. So him and his friends are now tasked with traversing Europe, going to far off lands they've never heard of, all in the hopes of saving the world. There are 6 chapters in the game to work through, and there's a lot of different things included in each chapter to keep players interested. Now, although there are 6 chapters, the game itself is fairly short. I actually completed this in about 7 hours across multiple evenings after work, but if you use a guide from the beginning, you could probably save a couple hours and, get your time down a little. And as I mentioned earlier, this is also a stackable platinum trophy. So there are different regions for the game, and there are also different platforms, all with separate lists. So I played this on the PS4 as I mentioned, but there is also one for the PlayStation Vita, and there is also one for the PS5. Personally, I think Demetrios would be a really good Vita game rather than, a main console game. So I'm probably not going to go for the stacks of this, but if that's something you're interested in, highly recommend picking it up. In terms of trophies, there's a really good mix for this game. These are tied to the sort of general chapter completion. There are also sort of certain events that you can trigger in the game that are tied to trophies, as well as just completing all the mini games and finding all the collectibles. None of these are overly difficult to do, and I will actually link a guide down below that I used towards the end of my playthrough just to help find all the extra things. This actually is a chapter by chapter guide which includes the order you can unlock every trophy in. This is originally for the Xbox version of the game, but it's the same game. So I would highly recommend using that if you were going to use a guide from the beginning, because the chance of you missing anything with that would be incredibly slim. There are a couple missable trophies in the game. One of them is called Leaving Without Closing the Faucet, I believe, and this requires Bjorn to turn the tap on in his apartment and not turn it off again before he leaves Paris. And the other one is called Insulting the Parents. And this one has Bjorn's friend Sandra send a postcard to her parents insulting them in it. Both of these trophies pop at the end of the game, so if you miss the events that trigger these, you will have to replay a good portion of the game. In terms of everything else though, there is chapter select after you complete the game, so any collectibles that you've missed, you can go back and get, which I missed collectibles, so that was an absolute lifesaver for me. So the collectibles that I mentioned, there are 2 in the game. So this includes cookies, which there are 3 in every scene that you visit. And you can eat these cookies and these act as player hints, telling you what you need to do next. And the other ones are game over screens. So the game, it's a silly one, so there are many different ways in which Bjorn can fail. He can either die or be arrested, or in some cases even abducted by aliens. So it's quite funny seeing all the different endings for him. Due to the nature of the game and the length, the trophies for this are incredibly common. On PSN profiles, I'm pretty sure the completion percentage for the PS4 version is 80%. So if you are a collector of ultra rares, I would maybe sit this one out. For being such a short game, there's actually a huge variety of things for the player to do, and personally I absolutely loved the mini games. So you can take Bjorn fishing, you can go visit the fun fair and play all the mini games there, which include racing, plate tosses, there's a random wheel spin, there are claw machines. You can also solve puzzles, you can create items, and you can even insult people. It is fantastic. Every chapter in the game really adds a little something extra for the player to do, and I think due to the nature of point and click games, this really does help keep you engaged and keep you interested towards the end of the game. Now, I would be lying if I said that Demetrios is going to end up winning Game of the Year, because it absolutely is not, but it's a fun little game. You know, it's got a lot of silly jokes in it. You know, it's a ridiculous plot, but it is fun. It's a nice short game that doesn't require all of your attention from now until the end of time. And if you're just looking for something to wind down with at the end of the night, I recommend taking a gamble on Demetrios as well. Have you played this game? Let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This one is a little bit shorter, but again, the game was short in itself. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the very next one. Bye!